HBC. Welcome back to part 3, the final part of my amazing and epic dig through the West Coast. So I've got about the 10 records that I picked up just that were in kind of San Francisco city, I guess you would call it that. But first, as promised, I'm going to do a quick recap on the comments that you guys left on the last video. Thank you so much for liking and commenting. Okay, so with the power of technology, I should be able to share my screen and record my voice at the same time, which is very exciting. So as mentioned, this is my little segment where I'm going to go through the comments and just talk about them, as we go live, so to speak. But first of all, thank you so much for all the amazing comments and all the views on here. I really appreciate it. But before we start, I just wanted to let you guys know, in case you didn't know, I'll always write the name of the song and album in here in the description. And that's mainly because some people have said that I tend to can mumble or not say things clearly, or just because I have an accent they can't understand. So I will always, when I remember, to write the album titles as I show them, but I also always put them in here for later reference. And also, if you want to reach out and contact me, I put some details at the bottom and usually a bit of a blurb at the top about the stores I visited or whatever's relevant at the time. Yeah, mostly people very positive. Lots of people talking about how great the Sandy Ball records are and the John Carter record. Thanks for the lovely comment, Dom, talking about Mission of Burma. Dom, yours and Fred's videos lately have been so inspiring. Thank you so much. Talking about slowcore records and Drag City, things like that. Got me to revisit lots of things I haven't heard in a long time. Super cool. This recommendation I'm going to try and track down from Dave Gibson over at the VC Ambassador, based on Calm's recommendation. Really interesting, so thank you for that. This is I'm not going to read this out, and I forgot to respond, but you guys should go and read this comment by Tom here. It made me laugh. Kieran is up to his old tricks of instead of waiting till the end of the video and leaving a big comment, he does it line by line. There, and there. I like it. It makes me laugh. just a couple. It's like typing live. Thank you. Hope you're well. Alex, Groovy Album by Rick Ballard. Yeah, a lot of the records I picked up have all the Rick Ballard stickers on the back, and it was very interesting to know. I thought that was weird that you found this album a bit noodly, because it's kind of a pretty free jazz record. I don't know if noodly is what I would have picked, but I don't know. That was just my thoughts. This was a fantastic comment. Thank you for typing this. Make a section called "I Can't Believe It's Not Butter," where you have buyer's remorse. I mean, I've definitely had buyer's remorse over the years, so that could be great. I've definitely moved along records, but yeah, that made me smile a lot. And then the other comment that made me laugh was this person here saying, "Are you related to the musician Guy Buttery?" Now, I had to Google who this person was here, Guy Buttery, because I had no idea. So the answer is I am not related to Guy Buttery. I don't know who he is. Let's have a look. I wonder if I'm allowed to do this for copyright reasons. Anyway, that kind of concludes the quick roundup. Back to the regular scheduled video. Thank you. So it is Sunday morning here. I've just made what hopefully will be an amazing slow cooked meal tonight. We've got these pork short ribs that I cooked in like a Korean sauce with onions and lots of spices, and it's kind of put them away. Kind of got some time to record a video. The sun is shining. I'm gonna go for a nice walk this afternoon. I'm feeling good, but I thought I would quickly put together this video, kind of finish it off. I got home in mid-June, and it's now coming up to mid-September, so these records have been sitting on the new arrivals for a while, so I'm quite happy to show them, and I can kind of file them all away. Yeah, I am wearing the, for the football fans among you, my Bradford City. This is the third kit from last season. Fortunately, they didn't get promoted, but yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite shirt that I've done in years. It's like a nice navy blue. Anyway, side note, I'll get to the records. So where shall I start? I will say that in terms of San Francisco City, we didn't even go to like the central area. We didn't go to Fisherman's Wharf. We didn't see the famous tram things. A few friends have said to us, you know, with San Francisco, the suburbs are kind of where it's at. You know, you want to be heading to Mission District and just walking as far as you can. You can weave your way around different suburbs. So that's kind of what we did. We spent a lot of time in Berkeley and a lot of time kind of not. We basically avoided as much as we could the central areas of San Francisco, which is kind of a cool way of doing it. So we saw lots of amazing suburbs, lots of cool cultures, lots of amazing food. Yeah, so we kind of just snaked our way around. I think we had 2 full days of just heading into the city, of just exploring. Yeah, lots of walking, and I kind of managed to work in a few record stores along the route. Yeah, so the first store I want to talk about was potentially my favorite store of the whole trip. And I didn't know what to expect of it, but I really loved it. It was called Originals Vinyl. And so how I found out about this place was actually through a YouTube video. And I'm not sure if this person makes regular kind of vinyl community videos, or if this person just does it as a one-off. I can't remember the person's name off the top of my head, but I'll try and find it again and put in a link below. They just did a video about their 3 favorite record stores they can walk between in San Francisco, and yeah, the store looked quite cool. I thought that looks like my sort of place. I'll add it to the list. So yeah, the store's called Originals Vinyl. It's like about 2-minute walk from where the Painted Ladies are. So I was really lucky that my partner decided just to relax in the sunshine in the park there by the Painted Ladies, and I got to go for a dig, which was really fantastic. It was quite late in the day, and they were due to close quite soon, so it was quite tight. But I walked into the store, and I could tell immediately it was quite a small store, but it was extremely well curated. I saw like jazz bins, world bins, indie bins, and I kind of was like, okay, this is great. I haven't got much time, but I can tell they've got a really good small kind of selection. So I think I just went straight to the jazz bins because I was quite low on time. The guy seemed really friendly, and like within the first minute, I kind of found this record here, introducing the Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quintet. Now, a lot of you will know this record because I think it was reissued on one of the fucking, I don't know what, Blue Note, I don't know, whatever you call those series is. I don't know, this like Blue Note Classic, Blue Note 74, I don't even know anymore. I don't really keep up with it. You guys probably remember when I picked up the Multi-Direction, which is the other record by these guys, which is the second record. I love that record inside out. It's one of my favorite jazz records. So I'm really happy to kind of get both releases by the Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quintet, the 2 Blue Note releases anyway. I almost bought the reissue a couple of times, but yeah, I managed to get this for cheaper than what the reissue goes for. It was just sitting there. This is absolutely wonderful jazz record. If you kind of like that sort of eerie, in-out, weird jazz that's a bit spacey, you know, if you like those sort of like Bobby Hutcherson records, I mean, he doesn't play on this, but in terms of that sort of strange kind of, yeah, I don't love it as much as I love the album Multi-Direction. I think that's their peak, but this is yes, super interesting. And the second thing I bought, because I'd never seen this before and it looked super interesting. I mean, obviously I know who Erkin Koray is, absolutely legendary musician from Turkey. This is a very weird and unusual compilation of bootlegs, outtakes, B-sides. Yeah, I just love how basic and minimal the cover is. I mean, this guy is an absolute legend. I think actually there is now an official compilation that came out of Finders Keepers, which compiles any sort of B-sides or rarities or singles. It's probably the stuff that's on here. And I would dare say that somebody has traded this in at the store and bought the official version of it. But this was kind of nice and cheap. And I must say there's some absolutely corker tracks on here. What a handsome dude. I don't need to talk about the music. Yeah, this stuff is fantastic. So I was really happy to grab that one. And then the third thing I did grab is this Muriel Grossman record, Union. Now, I don't know if in New Zealand no one is importing this RR Gems label here. And I've seen lots of people in the vinyl community talk about Muriel Grossman, and I haven't really dug into her or her music, and I thought, you know what, I'm here, I love this cover, I love these fonts here, I think this is so cool, so beautiful, I'm just going to give it a crack. So I grabbed it, and I'm really glad I did. I really enjoyed this record. Future James back again. After watching back my description, I feel like I really didn't do this record justice at all. I said it reminded me of the Next, and it does in parts, but it also reminds me of In a Silent Way. It's got a very low-key, atmospheric, kind of a soft fusion vibe to it. There's certain parts that sound almost very like aquatic or splashy. It's a really organic group vibe, the way they play together, the way they interact. The songs kind of feel like they're kind of ticking along nicely. From what I read, this was recorded in live in the studio in Loka, which is an island in the Mediterranean, which I went to when I was a kid, strangely enough. What makes this really cool and interesting is that they use a Hammond B3 throughout most of it, which adds a really nice tone to it. I do think of Miles, and I do think of Coltrane in parts. Definitely a homage to those legends. I think there's even a track called Training in a version of that is on here. So I'll definitely be checking out more of her work. I know lots of people that I know have fantastic taste, are huge fans of her, so this is a really good starting off point for me. Sorry, I keep looking at... I'm going to switch this off because I keep looking at myself on the screen but not at the camera. So I'm going to make more of an effort to make the eye contact. So yeah, I end up chatting to the guy behind the counter for about 20 minutes, like long after closing time. Really happy to talk to me. We immediately just started talking about jazz and the rise of, how I don't want to go into it. I could go on a whole rant about just, I don't know, it doesn't matter, on the state of how, I'm not even going to talk about it. I did pick up this really, really cool tote bag here, Originals Vinyl San Francisco. My record tote bags are always a bit tall and a bit tight, but this thing is wide. Really happy to get that. Overall I had a wonderful experience there. It was super great. Cut to Future James here. It's 5 to 8 at night and I'm editing this final part for you guys. This is quite a nice angle actually. You can kind of see my record covers. I'll give the people 10 points for anyone that can name all 3 album covers on there. And I know the quality is really bad, the lighting is really bad, but if you can make them out, 10 points. You can see my speaker, my turntable, my records. It's quite a good angle. Anyway, aside from rambling, I just wanted to say that I completely forgot to mention that I did visit the amazing Groove Merchant Records, which, as you guys know, is a legendary store, a famous store. It was one that I was very excited to go to, and I made my way there, and I think there's a really cool photo of me here digging in Groove Merchant. It was really cool to be there. I didn't actually find anything, which is crazy, because every time I see their new arrivals on Instagram, those new videos they put out, there's almost always something that I've been wanting or after. It's crazy, yeah. The quality they have in that store is kind of mind-blowing. But I did I had about half an hour, and I had to dig through most of it. There's a few things that I probably should have got. One of them was Johnny Hammond, Gambler's Life, but for whatever reason I just didn't buy it. I wasn't really feeling it at the time. I kind of regret that now. It's one you don't see too often anymore, but I love the shop, I love the vibe. Yeah, it was really cool to be in such a well organized and curated store, but there just wasn't anything that I felt like grabbing at the time. We did go to Amoeba there in San Francisco. I can't remember what the area is. I think it's in Haight-Ashbury. Yeah, it's at the end of Haight-Ashbury there. So we walked down through, I can't remember the suburbs, I'm really sorry, it was long ago now. We did manage to walk through Haight-Ashbury, which is now very kind of like commercial, tourist, hippie kind of thing. Honestly, it was pretty dirty, grotty. There were some very dodgy characters around. We stopped in a couple of different stores on the way there, but one store was kind of like selling hippie bits and pieces, and they had some records in. And I had a quick look through, and I found a lovely copy of this record I don't have. This is the wonderful Emitt Rhodes by Emitt Rhodes. This has probably been talked about in the VC plenty of times. And you know what I'm going to say. It's a line that everybody says. It's like the Paul McCartney record Paul McCartney never made, but with really fantastic songs. Yeah, there's some fantastic ones on here. My favorite is probably Fresh as a Daisy. This is really good. Yeah, it just sounds like a Paul McCartney Beatles record. That's all I need to say about it. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so the last spot I got a chance to visit was Amoeba in Haight-Ashbury, and I picked up 3 records here. One is my hands down favorite release of this year, by far. It comes, as you can see, this massive, thick, heavy gatefold. It's quite an expensive release, but it is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's also on the RR Gems label. Now, I can't explain this because you just got to go listen to it yourself. But it's kind of like, I don't know, weird as fuck Eastern music with groovy bits and haunting shrieking and krautrocky bass lines and weirdo synthesizers and keyboards and strange. It's very creepy and weird and out there, and also beautiful in parts. If you guys know Devin Braja, he released an album about 3 or 4 years now, which I don't have, which is really good. You might recognize the cover. I'll put it up on the screen. He is the main person behind this. It was recorded in Montreal. I think the musicians are from Montreal. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love this. This is my favorite release of the year. Definitely. It has to be. Future James back at it again. But I just wanted to say, make sure you listen to it all the way through to the end, because some of the most magical stuff actually happens on side 3 and side 4. it gets into this really minimal spiritual zone, and there's points it's just an African thumb piano and some amazing vocal work and some Pharoah Sanders-esque saxophone playing, but in a very minimal spacey way. If you know the album called The Trance of Seven Colors by Pharoah Sanders and I've forgotten his name. I'll put it here. Some of it sounds like this on the second side as a reference point. So the next one, I won't talk about this for too much. I talked about this in my Show Your Sets video. This is John Fahey Volume 2. Wonderful, beautiful, as always. And then the last thing I did pick up was a copy of Terry Riley's Shri Camel. Now, weirdly, there was 3 sealed copies of this just sitting there in the classical section, which was really fantastic. This is one that I knew the cover, but I wasn't super familiar with the music. But you know, what can I say about this? It's another classic Terry Riley record. It's definitely not up there for me. It's not as good as Persian Surgery Dervishes or A Rainbow in Curved Air, but it's definitely very interesting. I will say I do need to spend more time with this one. I don't think I was in the mood when I've listened to it. I think it came out in the early 1980. Wow, there you go. But yeah, look at that cover, isn't that fantastic? And then the last 2 I want to talk about, I just want to touch on them. Because I did make a video while I was in Berkeley, you guys probably saw, of the wonderful friend of mine, Ryan Dye, over at Hardfiled on Instagram, did decide to reach out and send me 2 records while I was in the US. So that was really cool and really nice to kind of receive VCLT domestically while I was in the USA. Oh, I should say, for people that don't know what VCLT is, it was a term used long ago in the old days of the VC. It stands for Vinyl Community Love Train. But believe it or not, we all used to send records to each other quite often. And it was kind of a thing everyone did, and people reciprocated, and you didn't have to reciprocate. But there was a few years there where records were being sent around all over the world. And it was really good, and that doesn't happen anymore. Mainly probably because of COVID, and also postage just went absolutely through the roof. And then the whatever was left of the community kind of during lockdowns, I guess the number of people making videos just kind of exploded, and a lot of that stuff, has got completely lost now. But this felt like a proper old school VCLT thing, which is very heartwarming. And you've seen both the records that were shown to me. But I thought I would just quickly talk about them a little bit more in detail now that I've had the chance. Now this one, which is Chill Out by the KLF. Now I'd always known what this record is and what it was and what it sounds like-ish, but I don't think I'd ever actually sat down and listened to it and kind of absorbed it. So I kind of had been waiting for a time where I had an hour and a half one night, and I could listen to it late at night and just chill out with it, so to speak. And I did that, and I listened to it for the first time in its entirety just last week, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It sounds like a road trip through America, but it's just very spacey and strange and unusual and very passive. I don't know how to describe it. Passive is the word that comes to mind. It doesn't impress itself on you, but it's very subtle. It's very beautiful. Yeah, this is great. So thank you, Ryan, for sending it to me. I don't know if you made this connection. I think you probably did, and this is why you sent it to me, but I know that we both really love the Avalanches, and I can definitely hear that idea, especially on Wildflower in this. lots of things that sound like America or remind me of what I think the idea of America is are on this. You know, we've got, you know, things like there's Elvis Presley samples on here. There's oh, I've forgotten the name of the piece of music. I've forgotten it. It's left my mind. Yeah, very good, very amazing. So thank you for this. I'm glad, you know, it's amazing it took me this long to really sit down and enjoy it, and it's amazing. I'm really happy that it clicked with me and I get it, and I know what this record is and where it fits in the wider scale of music. So thank you. And the other one, which kind of like threw me when I opened it live because I had no idea what it was or anything about it, but this is MikroKosmic Music Inc. Oh no, MikroKosmic Unit, sorry. The label is called MikroKosmic Unit Inc. And this is by Heath Allen. And it's essentially a private press on his label. Heath Allen was, or is, if he's still alive, probably still alive, from Philadelphia. Really interesting jazz, free jazz, experimental jazz. Some wonderful piano playing by Heath Allen, especially on side 2. It's definitely, the opening 2 tracks I think are beautiful. The piano work on there is really, really nice. I think it opens up a lot more from side 2 on Memory. Yeah, really interesting. I do need to give this more spins, I must admit. But I was immediately taken by the first side. So this is Heath Allen, the MikroKosmic Unit. So thank you again, Ryan, for sending it to me. Cool. All right, sorry if that was a bit rushed. I felt like I may have rushed it a little bit. But I do need to get going because I have to go out. But there we go. That was it. That was all the records I picked up on the trip. And scarily, there's about 10 records I didn't even show because they were upgrades of records I already have. They're in better condition. So, yeah, thank you for watching these. We'll be back to a kind of regular videos soon. Yeah, what a journey. Thank you all. Thank you for your comments. And that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.